Hello. Now let's get down and dirty with the atrocities of Jeffrey Epstein. How he made his market. Well, the first thing that happened was an idea. Find people's selfish desires, then have people pay him with money. He would find rich people and he would target them. He would get as much information with them and then he would try to connect with them. He would socialize and create a network with powerful people. And then he would secretly take them to parties and have them expose their selfish desires. And these selfish desires would be a lot of bad things. Later on, he would, start selling kids to these powerful people, and then he would record them, and then he would use that as blackmail. He would tempt people to do evil things, so then he could have an edge over them. Then he started getting into the occults and the elites. He was very interested into genetic modifications. He was interested in the occults, mental health, the supernatural. He was also very interested into weird superstitions and stuff. Because every superstition has some type of truth behind it. And he was always into figuring things out in the world. He also was very terrified of the devil. He was also terrified of his mirror, because his mirror would cause him to have a time loop. His mirror would also cause him to have a deja vu, and it would basically make him psychologically trapped, because every time he tried to do something else, his mirror would send him back in time to a certain day, and he would get terrified, not knowing what to do. And this would happen constantly over and over again until he just had to listen to his mirror. Now, with how he got his money, obviously people paid him, he blackmailed other people, and then he wanted to rule a nation. He wanted to have power over a nation. He went to the Middle East, because the Middle East, he researched their religion, and he found out that they had a lot of their child predators over there. And he used that to their advantage. He went over there and gave an idea. I let them use their selfish desires. And that's what they did. They paid a shit ton of money to Jeffrey Epstein. But there's a situation that happened that Jeffrey Epstein couldn't handle. The Saudis came back to get their revenge because stuff about exposing them and, getting money and power. Jeffrey Epstein, he has so much power that he became bored with it. So he went searching on with the Hollywood, and he started doing these things, parties with famous people. Started doing the occult. He started doing these rituals, which granted them some type of thing, something, I don't know. But what got Jeffrey Epstein into trouble was that he was going against God, and God was patiently waiting until the time came. God was writing down all the sins that Jeffrey Epstein did. He was also writing down all the sins that every other nation was doing, because there'll be a time when God comes and he will, wipe out all the evil organizations, either by transforming them or, deleting them forever. What what really hurts is that it took 20 years, man, of me gathering as much information as possible and then putting it into my subconscious head. Dude, I'm an idiot, but at the same time, I still remember those feelings and emotions. I still have those thoughts. Jeffrey Epstein was a horrible person, but at the same time, I became evil and I gave him ideas, and I was the mirror. That was life, man. I was probably the most powerfulest psychic in the world. I was able to shake someone's hand and find every information about them. Kind of lost that in high school because I kind of locked it because I didn't want to have like trouble. At the same time, I was a goofy kid, and there's a lot of things that I hid because I just hid with a smile. I'm good at faking reactions, but most of the times I smile with my eyes and I smile with the soul that I have. So that's something. I also realized that trauma and memories go hand in hand. Trauma and emotions go hand in hand. The moment you start feeling emotions is when you start having these memories pop up back in your head. And that's how I was able to, be able to remember as much as I can, because the mind the consciousness is much more stronger than a computer, as long as you can understand the concept behind it. Memories is, once you start throwing a lot of the memories that you forgot in your subconsciousness, just add a feeling or an emotion to it, and then it'll be remembered for a long time. Or, well, it'll be forgotten, but you could always pull it out with certain emotions and stuff. That's why aliens want to take over mankind, because humans' consciousness is probably the most powerfulest thing on this earth. That's why aliens call us files. Think about it. They call us files because the consciousness of our soul is the most powerfulest thing on earth. Now, take that as what you will. But again, continue on to the story. Jeffrey Epstein also needed a place to escape to, so he went to the Jews, he went to Israel, and he gave them prophecies. He went to the Vatican and gave them prophecies of the future and stuff. And what really grinds my bubbles is that a lot of these prophecies came to be with a 99% accuracy. That 1% was the randomness, but it was also accounted for. So technically it was 100%. It's crazy, right? Damn. There's probably more, but I'm gonna say this. The source is trust me, bro. That's the source. But find your information. Go search out into the world. Look into it. Find if I'm telling the truth or not. Discern me. Please do that. Find if I'm telling the truth. Look for the information yourself. Keep digging into it. And also, Monarch, MK Ultra, the gay program was basically funded by Jeffrey Epstein because he was very interested into the genetic modifications in the supernatural. The CIA also wanted to make super soldiers so they can dominate the whole world. Yeah, didn't work out. 7 anomalies. Alright, deuces.